you look up into the night sky, do you dream about traveling to the stars, but then realize that you can't because you don't own a console? Fret no more. On the Spot gives you a look at the upcoming Mass Effect on the PC for an adventure through the cosmos. Looking for something a little closer to the ground? Lower your center of gravity and get to your best boxing stance. You're getting a shot at the title with Don King Presents Prize Fighter. Ding ding. Finally, we sneak up on the multiplayer high-technology combat extravaganza that is Metal Gear Online. Tuck yourself in and get ready for this week's On the Spot.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to On the Spot. I am Ryan McDonald, joined by Brian Eckberg.
Hey, what's up, man?
Dude? I said your last name this week.
That's awesome. I love my last name.
I don't know. I think I was just so excited to get into the show last week.
It's Brian. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But we got all kinds of fun. You actually have news to report to us that is just like super new as of last night, right?
Yeah, I mean, we just got back this, I guess, last night from Vancouver. We saw a whole bunch of EA Sports stuff. They had their big press event for the spring this year. So we saw everything, man. We saw Madden, we saw NCAA, we saw Tiger, we saw everything. So a lot of previews on the site today from that event and more to come in the future.
For Madden fans out there, the quick skinnies looking good?
It's looking really good. They're doing a lot to that game. Online leagues, man. 32
Dude,
players.
finally.
Yeah,
That's so awesome.
It's finally here.
And then, of course, the other bit of news, Mike Tyson,
Yeah.
officially in a boxing game that is not his own.
Yeah, they announced Fight Night 4, and they said Mike Tyson's going to be in the game.
That's super awesome. You know, we got a prize fighter here today.
It's like a boxing renaissance.
Yeah, totally. And
So
for a boxing
cool.
fan like myself,
Yeah, right up your alley.
oh yeah, totally. I'm loving it. Totally
Cool.
loving it. The other thing, we got a little new on our site today.
Yep.
Of course, On the Spot people that are watching this right now might be seeing it through the new player on the new page.
Mm-hmm.
And one pro tip I'll give them. Is if you actually look in the top left of the player, just over to the side, you'll see some words that say something to the effect of "click here to make this bigger." So if you're used to watching the show in like the big cool video window,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and click there and it'll work out. So there's your pro tip for the day.
As if your head wasn't big enough.
I know.
You can make it even bigger.
But yeah, so that's that. Of course, we got tons of games, so
Yep.
stick around. We got tons of that stuff. We're gonna give like 100 discs away today too.
Blank discs?
Yeah, no, there's video game content. on
Oh,
these
cool.
discs. Yeah,
Awesome.
Like
That's
actual
even better.
like, playable. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But enough from us right now. Let's go ahead and jump it off, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So first up, we're actually going to show you one more cool thing that we're doing, and that is our community game night. Let's go ahead and take a look.
You guys ready? Breach! Breach! Check your corners! Flash out!
Kevin, you in there playing those gold-earned multi-people games again?
Dad!
A young man leads a secret life, playing video games behind his parents' back, just to get a thrill. It's been a long time since single-player games have excited him, and he's looking for something more. Is this mere adolescent rebellion, or does he seek something deeper? Like the easy camaraderie of a multiplayer fragfest with like-minded individuals. You be the judge.
Where are you off to? To play with more carbon-based bipedal life forms?
Jim, no, I was just holding.
Kevin, why don't you play games the way they're meant to be played? Alone and in the dark.
Kevin, don't be afraid. We've been waiting for you.
Awesome, man. That is awesome. Awesome!
Oh, man, yeah, nice job. Who wants cake and pie?
Is this heaven?
Almost. It's GameSpot Community Game Night! All's well that ends well, especially if you have the most kills on your server. Kevin appears to have found a place for those few who can handle the competition. Heaven for the flag handlers, Nirvana for the ninjas, Shangri-La for the skirmishers, here at Community Game Night.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
So there's a look at our community game night. You play on there. I saw you on Tuesday.
Yeah, I've been playing the last two have been Grand Theft Auto 4, so I've played in both of those. And I played a Dark Sector one week.
Right on. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard not to want to do that, especially with all the folks. And then of course, yeah. I mean, I did the Call of Duty 4 stuff. I did the Grand Theft Auto 4. So yeah, big fun there. But Justin Calvert, you were here to show us our first demo of the day, correct?
I am, yeah.
And this is a game that is called Wits and Wagers. Is that right?
Yeah, Wits and Wagers. It's based on a board game, I guess, and they just released it on Xbox Live Arcade yesterday.
Oh wow! So this is something that somebody can go and find on their Xbox.
So yeah, they can get it right now, and it's an online trivia game. I'm playing as, I think I chose the skeleton.
Is that the dude in the hat right there?
Yeah, there you would.
Yeah.
There's me. You can dance with the right stick. It's almost as entertaining as the trivia. Oh man, this is where I get to show everyone how useless I am at trivia.
Dude, whatever, I'll help you.
But you know what's good is that it doesn't really matter if however way off you are with the answers, because the way you actually get points is to bet on everyone's answers. And there are different odds on each of this. So I'm going to put all 5 on my answer. I'm probably way off.
Where are you at? Oh, Justin, so you're saying 12%?
So I'm in green. I think 12%. I don't know.
Dude, it's way higher.
You have to be as close as possible without going over.
Oh yeah, it's 20%.
See, where were you when I was?
I was telling you it was way higher. I didn't get to the part where I said it was 20.
Playing against the clock, Ryan.
I'll be faster this time around. So this is the game. It's all just straight trivia. It's 6 people.
6 people. It's got all the online leaderboards and all that stuff. And
fun.
Right now, I'm playing with 5 AI people, but you can, everyone can be online. You can have up to 4 people on a single console, and you can have, they call it like couch to couch multiplayer, where it's, a group of 3 people in one place can play against another group of 3 or whatever.
Oh, that's super cool.
I lost all my money, but you start each round with 5 anyway.
Yeah.
So I get my money back.
In what year was John Scopes found guilty and fined $100 for teaching evolution at Tennessee High School?
You'll find for those of you in Europe, you'll find the questions are pretty U.S. centric.
Yeah.
Do you have any clue on that one, Ryan? Help me out.
I'm gonna say
that's got to tell me that's really old. That has to be a really long time ago.
Found guilty of 500. Yeah. I'm gonna say like what do you guys think? I'm gonna say like 1976.
No.
50s? Yeah, 50s. With Brian, 50s. 50s.
Okay,
Brian says sometimes.
Okay,
50s.
I'm gonna go 48 then, because if you go over, oh man.
What are these? You got 1912, 1923, 1930. I gotta cheat. I gotta bring up the chat room. So
I'm going down. So now, if my answer, there's a bonus for being the one who gets the closest answer. So if it's in the
1925. What?
So I lose out all over the place. I got the wrong answer.
It's not like I was heading in the right direction. Sorry.
You guys aren't helping my stats.
I know. All right. The chat room is coming up. We all know that our folks at home help us out more than they know. So we're gonna get in here and see if they got us. You got any questions from the audience about Wits and Wagers, Mr. Brian Eckberg?
Yeah, Brandon Kwong from San Francisco, local guy, wants to know if there's online play in this deal.
Yeah, it's. Right now I'm just playing against the AI, but it supports up to 6 players online, and it's got all the online leaderboards and all that stuff that you would expect.
Now, how do they? Obviously one of the tricks that CNET does is that it keeps track as you go through of what questions you've seen before. Do you have any idea that they have any smarts in this game to make it so that I'm not, answering the same question 10 times?
They've got they've got a bank of and you feel free to help me out with this question.
Scientific American is the longest-running U.S. magazine. In what year was it first published? Anybody? Scientific American?
2006.
Okay, 1895.
1895.
Oh, it's way before that, isn't it?
I don't know.
What was sorry, what were you asking me?
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the chat room and see if they're helping us. I was asking that how does it keep track of the questions you've answered?
So it has It has a bank of like 700 questions.
Yeah.
And I think they repeat pretty frequently.
Oh,
I mean,
do they really?
Each game you play, you get to answer. There are 7 rounds, so you can kind of do the math, and you figure you're going to see some duplicates pretty quickly.
I gotcha.
It looks like they're going to release extra question packs up to a maximum of like 6, because when you go into a multiplayer game, it kind of, like you see, it's saying there that we're answering questions from question pack 1. And when you start a multiplayer game, it tells you which question packs are available.
Yeah.
So presumably they're going to release like maybe another 5. They're probably going to charge for that, and I don't know how it's going to work if you're having to, match with people, and some of you have question packs that others don't. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not sure how that's going to work.
Let me ask you this before we go to one more and our final question from the audience. These little, faces and skeleton heads, smiley faces.
Yeah.
Those look customizable. Is that something I can take a picture of myself, use my Xbox Live camera, and then like stick it on there, or what?
You wish.
Oh, no way.
No,
huh?
it does use the Xbox Live Vision camera.
Yeah.
But I should have brought one.
Do you know what we see when we use the camera?
What is it? Because what it does is it basically replaces your torso and your head with a TV set, and then on the screen you get to see like the view through the camera, and you still have limbs that you can make dance around. But instead of a torso and a head, you have a
little
TV set.
I gotcha.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, honestly, so far I'm the only person I've seen online using it.
I gotcha.
And no one's commented on it. No one seemed to think it was funny when I pointed it at a monkey in my office or anything. It's just,
right on.
I don't know. There are quite a few people playing it though, which is kind of surprising that a week after GTA 4,
there's some action anywhere else.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Justin Calvert. Really appreciate it. When is this is out now? How many points?
Out now. It's costs 800 points.
Oh, I gotcha.
And we'll have a review going up, I think, tomorrow.
Fantastic. Excellent. Thanks for coming by and showing it off. Always a pleasure.
Yep.
Right now, we are going to send it across the studio and see what Brian Eckberg is standing by. And he has a guest. It's always good when they got a guest. What do you got, Brian?
I've got 2 guests with me from BioWare. I've got Eric and Chris, who are showing off Mass Effect for the PC. Guys, how are you doing?
Yeah, good to see you.
Excellent. You're not on the mic, but you're going to be playing the game, Chris, for us.
I get
Thank
the fun
you.
stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the fun stuff, so Eric can tell us all about the game. So tell me, we've got Mass Effect, great game, came out last year on the Xbox 360. Now it's here on PC. What can we expect?
Well, basically, BioWare put a lot of great things into the original Mass Effect game, like, emotional intensity, a lot of great storytelling, really deep, complex emotional characters. So what Chris is going to show you today are some new features that are brand new and specific to the PC.
All right, well, actually, Chris, why don't you get started while we're talking about it?
So right now we're on Vermeer right now, and as you can see, the team's put a lot of detail into the textures. We've got a lot of high-resolution graphics here. We're working very closely with Demiurge Studios, and this game is going to look absolutely great on high-definition monitors, especially.
Looks really nice here.
Thank you. Well, what Chris has done right now is by pressing the space bar, he's called up the Tactical HUD, which is a brand new feature for the Mass Effect PC game. And he's about to go into combat here. Now, what's new about the Tactical HUD here is that in the original Mass Effect game, if you remember, you had the combat wheel and the biotics wheel. Those wheels have now been consolidated into one single HUD that you can access. One of the big things about it now is individual squad command. So what Chris has done is, using the Tactical HUD, he's ordered his squad mates to actually advance up individually. So Garrus is right there taking cover behind the rock there while Chris moves up. There he goes. Now, if you look actually at the top there, he's got some quick slots there. That's another new feature for the Mass Effect PC game. So what it allows Chris to do now is he's dragging over Commander Shepard's biotic powers and abilities into those quick slots there. So when he releases the spacebar and goes back into the action, it allows him to run and gun, meaning that he's actually able to activate each of those powers now with just the push of a single button.
And are those typically tied to the function keys or to numbers? Or?
The function keys actually call up the individual weapons, which is another new feature in Mass Effect PC. In the original game, you actually had to cycle through for your weapons. Here, you can actually pick your shotgun just with a push of a button, or you can cycle through using the bracket keys. The important thing to remember is that because we're on Mass Effect PC now, the keyboard itself is fully customizable. You can actually map the controls however you want to the keyboard. So as you can see, Chris is cycling through the weapons really quite easily. He's using the F keys to just pick specific weapons right at once. Now what we're going to show you here is a brand new mini decryption game.
Okay.
So in the original Xbox, the mini game, in order to break locks and whatnot, you actually had to button match.
That's right.
Here what Chris is going to do, and might as well just jump right into it so that he can show you, is he's actually the icon on the very outer rim there. So he's trying to make it to the center of the circle there before that time runs out. But as you can see, he's blocked by a number of different obstacles, which, depending on the intensity of the level or his squad, will actually change, making it more difficult for him to pass to the center.
And he's just clicking the mouse to move forward?
He is. He's clicking the mouse, or you can use the buttons to move forward. He's brought up the inventory screen now that he's like, gotten all the inventory from that chest that he's just unlocked there. So this is also a brand new item. BioWare, listening to the feedback of the community, took under consideration the fact that the original inventory system was maybe could have been improved. So what they've done is they've developed a brand new interface here where it actually lists your inventory in order of importance, in terms of it ranks the weapons automatically for you, so all your best items are right there at the top, making it very easy for Chris to just pick the weapons and armor that he wants, and he can do that by cycling through all the different characters. It's the same for Shepard or for Garrus.
Or whomever's in your party.
Or whoever's in your party, exactly.
Yeah, it was very easy to get a lot of equipment that you didn't know, to stockpile a lot of equipment that you weren't necessarily using.
Totally. This now makes it completely easy to use.
Cool. Ryan McDonald, do you have any questions about Mass Effect PC from our viewers?
You totally know it. Here's one from Doug out of Princeton, New Jersey. Can you still pause the action to make the HUD selections?
You can pause the action, and basically this is what Chris is doing right now. You pause the action, it brings up the tactical HUD. You can basically use it to assign commands to each of your squad mates, telling each of them now individually to go to a certain location. You can flank now, and basically once Chris releases the spacebar, it jumps right back into the action. So he's sending Tali up there. There goes Garrus. And so it basically allows different styles of play. You can either run and gun, or you can use more of a tactical-based style of play.
Did this interface require any AI overhauls, or was it simply just a presentation overhaul?
No, the presentation is basically the big change. The AI works really well. Like, for example, if Chris sends his squad mate up to that point there, or sends Garrus behind that rock, the AI is smart enough to know to actually take cover, pop out when it's safe to return fire.
Let's hear it.
Paul Joyce out of Liverpool, UK wants to know, will the PC version contain achievements? And if so, do they differ from the 360 versions? And if so, are they stackable if you've played the original game on the 360?
That's a great question. There is an achievement system in Mass Effect PC. Unfortunately, we haven't actually announced any details about it yet, but yes, you will be able to rack up your achievements for sure.
I think one of the questions people have of a PC game coming out based on a console game that's already out, is there any new content, new missions, anything you can tell us about that?
Right. Well, the original Mass Effect story was already so full of just really great moments that to actually add the odd thing here and there would actually, we felt, dilute the story. So we've been very faithful to the original story. So there isn't really any new content. Most of the changes are actually technical in terms of the new tactical HUD, which we really think the fans will enjoy. But definitely look forward to downloadable content, though.
Yeah,
for example, the Bring Down the Sky downloadable content, which was released for the Xbox 360, that actually is going to be free for PC gamers to download at launch.
Oh, nice.
So basically, it's not included in the game, but once you buy the game, you can actually go online, download the content for free, and just get started playing.
Very cool. Sounds great. Let's hear it.
Jimmy Davis out of Noosa wants to know, how high will the resolution go to?
Oh, I don't know specific numbers, but it goes pretty high. Yeah, you can actually make it look really, really great on high-definition monitors. But yeah, basically as high as your PC can go. It'll usually run pretty smoothly. They wanted to actually make it really accessible for most PCs. So basically any PC that's within the last 2 years old should run it just fine.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other changes to the PC version that we should be aware of?
Yes, actually, we updated the controls to the Mako, which is the driving game. I don't know if we have time to show that, but basically the Mako, which is your vehicle, is now camera independent. So in the original game, you actually would drive to where you were looking. In the PC version, you can actually if you press forward, the Mako will go forward. If you press reverse, it'll go in reverse, but you can actually pan the camera around, now allowing you to do things like circle strafing, which is really helpful in vehicle combat.
And was that something the designers wanted, or was that, I imagine that was fan feedback?
Again, that was fan feedback. BioWare really, really values the feedback from its community, so made sure to put a lot of their suggestions into the design of the PC version.
Ryan, maybe one more question?
Yes, sir. Kyle Lynn out of Reading wants to know, how is the mouse used? I know games such as Medal of Honor use a sticky look system, and games such as Halo use a free range system. How is it exactly does this work?
Sure. Basically, the mouse is controlling the camera and therefore the crosshair that's there. So when Chris pushes the spacebar and brings out the tactical HUD, he holds down the right mouse button to actually pan around, so you can actually tell your individual squad mates to go where the crosshair is pointed. So, for example, he's going to send Tally to that point there down the hall, but then he's going to tell Garrus to move to the left there. So it allows you to actually flank.
It looks very simple to learn.
It's a really, really easy interface. Yeah. It's really, really easy to use.
All right. Well, I guess the final question everybody's wondering is when is Mass Effect PC coming?
It ships May 27th to North America, and then it'll be available June 6th in Europe.
All right. Well, of course, if you haven't taken the plunge on Mass Effect for the 360, now is the time to pick it up for the PC. Guys, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks,
we
Brian.
appreciate it. And hey, Mac, are we going to talk some boxing now?
Dude, we're totally talking boxing. I've got Matthew Seymour, who's executive producer on Prize Fighter. Thank you so much for joining us today, Matthew.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
And I should also give you guys a special thanks for the awesome Don King interview that we had here as well.
That's right. Yeah.
Hopefully we get a closer. Maybe we get that guy in-house and get some action going on. But I'm so excited to see the game. I don't want to waste anybody's time. Let's go ahead and get in there and see what you got.
Absolutely. Yeah, Don can be certainly entertaining, can he? And he really was terrific to work with as well, and we heard all the stories, and one of the things we tried to incorporate some of those stories in Prize Fighter. And one of the things that really defines us from other boxing games out there is our very deep and immersive story. And it's not just about what you do inside the ring, but outside the ring. So you're balancing training with temptations, whether you're dating a girl or maybe taking a commercial on. And these temptations can actually raise your notoriety and media profile, so when you go in the ring, you'll have a little bit more crowd support and adrenaline going on. And that's just a kind of taste of this career mode that separates us. And
is there a give and take on that? Like if I go for the commercial and everything, and I get a little more people, cheer me on, and I get a little more adrenaline boost and everything like that, is that good? But is there a negative side of that? Do I like maybe lose out on some of my conditioning, or?
Excellent question. Yes, exactly. If you're out there partying and dating girls and going to the Caribbean,
I sometimes like to.
Yes, of course. Me too. Yeah, you're going to lose training time, right? So then you're not going to have that stamina and endurance, or you're not going to have that power behind your punches. But the other thing that's really cool about the career mode and separates this game, Don King Presents Prize Fighter, from any other sports game is we use a real live action sports documentary to tell you the story. So I'm going to kind of just jump right into that here, if I may.
Please,
and it's going to be kind of set up the story for you, and you're the star of this story. And these people talk to you as if you actually exist.
Really? Let's take a look.
On tonight's episode of Boxing Legends, a hard luck story that ultimately ends with redemption and glory.
Good fights, bad fights, legendary struggles that shall go down in the annals of history. I've seen them all. But that night, I bore witness to the extreme spectaculosity of two titans in the ring with one throne.
Ladies and gentlemen, unprecedented as it is, the challenger refuses to come out first. He maintains he already holds the title. To prevent further delay, the champion has agreed to walk to the ring, where introductions will follow when the challenger joins him.
And that's again hit.
People want to know who take the hardest punches and who take the most hits. Who do I think is the best?
We all know who's the best. He was a phenomenon.
When you think how he started, it's like a movie or something.
So what we do is we take you straight in, and you get to create who this person is. So you put in your last name and first name, pick your style, orthodox, or low guard, or peekaboo, your guard style, your stance, southpaw, orthodox. And an interesting feature we have in this is the fact that you can customize your ring walk music. And we have over 70 tracks.
Wow.
And these are unlockable throughout your career as you progress through your career. And we have some really cool stuff. We even have Eye of the Tiger.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and we've got some Blue Oyster Cult in there, and we have some really interesting kind of old school groove and funk stuff. That's kind of the basis of the theme music by Bootsy Collins. He wrote something. So we've got Tower of Power as well. So it's a nice little feature that you're able to customize your ring walk music. And of course, pick your hometown. And this is a very powerful player creator, and it's really easy to use. But you know, we've pretty much seen tons of these things, and it's kind of mandatory to have in a sports game these days, especially when it's mano-a-mano. You know, and we do a terrific job in our Top Spin series as well with this. So I'm just going to kind of skip here and just show really quickly. But again, really easy to get into and use. Oh, I've got some debug code up there. Hey, folks, it's not out yet.
Yeah, so early?
Yeah, nothing to worry about there, though.
I want to make sure you have a chance before you go, Matthew, to show some in-the-ring action.
Absolutely. We're going to get right to that. Yeah. Yeah, I promise you that. One of the things I wanted to point out here really quickly is the fact that we have all the brands as well. So it's really true to the sport of boxing. We have Toledo Rays, Grant, Lonsdale, etc. And
do you guys go to like the detail level of like, do I get, you know, if I'm the champion, do I get to pick the types of gloves we use, whether Reyes or Grant, and the other guy gets to pick the color, or do you guys?
Oh yeah, well, we want to give you a lot of options right out of the gate. But in the end, you actually, as you progress through a career and you become a superstar, you get a chance to be a spokesperson for Jordan Brand.
Oh, wow.
And that's when you unlock the Jordan Brand stuff. And in actuality, they are doing boxing equipment now. So Jordan Brand / Nike, right?
Totally. It's like Jordan and like Roy Jones Jr. and all those guys are kind of hooked up in some regards of like their
yes, they are.
businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, our boxers are wearing the stuff that they would normally, you know, in their professional careers. So what happens here, and I'm going to skip through this, is you kind of get a background on where you're from, some people that are involved in your life and your career, your cut man, etc. This is an old foreman you worked with, and he's talking about how you got into boxing, right? So, and then, of course, being a great sports game, and 2K Sports is great about teaching you how to play. We have a really nice tutorial. Kind of ease people into it. So, but we'll button through this, and this is the tutorial getting started here. But of course, as you requested, we want to get straight to some action here.
All right. While you cue up the action, I'm going to see if Brian can throw us a question or two from the audience. You got one over there, Brian?
They're coming in quick.
Really?
People want to know, like, how long is the career mode?
How long is the career mode? Depending on how good you are, of course, but we're looking at an average of about 15 hours. You're going to have over 30 fights in your career.
Oh, right.
And you're going to have, of course, you're going to really want to work your way up to be promoted by Don King. You know, that's the nirvana of it, right? So you're going to have to really impress Don King in order to move up to him, where he starts to get you the really cool fights and the big fights. This is my first amateur fight, but I'm going to take you to the glamour and the razzle-dazzle.
While you get that going, Brian, you got one more question for us?
I think we're going to get right into it once we get into the ring, but people want to know about the controls, how the boxing works.
Okay.
I'm sorry, how the controls are? Yeah, okay. Our core base is Street Fighter. So it's combinations, phase, trigger, buttons, and the thumbsticks. And what we like about that is that it's real immediate. You get into the action right away. When you're throwing a jab, you know that jab's coming out. And you're using dodging, using the thumbsticks, leaning, all of that.
Let's take a look at some of it before.
Sure, absolutely. Before we run out of time here.
Totally.
So we've got some great fighters. I'm going to go with Joe Kazagi here, and let's go Kelly Pavlik. This is one of those super matches that might happen or not. And what
do you think, by the way? Do you think Calzaghe or Hopkins won?
Oh, I think Calzaghe did. The judges there are such that they like punchers. They like guys who throw a lot of punches.
Took him to the 4th round, but he finally started. Yeah, he started throwing those punches.
Absolutely. Now we have 40 fighters in this game, 30 contemporary fighters fighting right now, so you can actually kind of relive these real matchups of Joe and Kelly Pavlik. And kind of follow their careers online. So we're really proud of that. In addition to that, we have 10 classic fighters. We even have the Cinderella Man, James Braddock, Ken Norton, Larry Holmes, Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano.
I mean, I saw some of the more newer folks in there. I mean, that's got to come with that Don King name, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So real quick, we're totally out of time. I do want to see some in-game action.
You guys told me I had more time than this.
I think it goes by
All right,
quick.
well, let's button through this. Let's really get into the action here very quickly. So we got the line. I'm going to keep button through. One of the great things about this is it's an actual 3D boxing game. A lot of other boxing games feel like you're kind of stuck on a 2D plane, but I'm able to step around, get some punches in, create angles and opportunities. And that's boxing. That's what boxing's all about. This also plays a lot faster than other boxing games, and that's because boxing's a fast game. It's a fast sport, that is. We got big step-in punches you can get, but Kelly's kind of wailing on me here a bit. Really smooth animation on the leans and controls. Great crowd, venue. Jim Lampley and Emmanuel Stewart are
announcing. That's
announcing.
Awesome.
First time in a boxing game to have a pundit or color commentator.
I can't believe it's taking this long to get those guys doing some good announcing.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Matthew. Sorry we didn't have more time.
Okay, that's all right.
But appreciate you coming by and showing the game.
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And for the folks in back, thanks for letting me check out as much boxing as I possibly could. But right now, I'm going to throw it over the standing set where we have Brian standing by with our next game. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, it's fighting of a different kind. We've got Sean McInnes, our man in previews, checking out Metal Gear Online, right?
Metal Gear Online. We're doing a little team deathmatch right here.
Yeah, so we're in the game. Tell us, someone maybe who's not familiar with this series, what is Metal Gear Online?
Metal Gear Online is sort of a spin-off to Metal Gear Solid 4 in that it uses the same controls, the same engine, and basically the same appearance, except you're in a online multiplayer setting. And it's got a few different game types. You've got the standard, like, deathmatch, team deathmatch, and you've got some other interesting ones where, like, one player plays as Snake and the rest of the people try to take him out.
Literally plays a Snake?
As Snake.
Oh,
yeah.
See, I would have rather played as a Snake.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to play as a Snake, you can also play as a box.
Yeah, and you can play as a barrel.
You can play as a barrel as well. I prefer the box.
So you just brought that up? That's something in your inventory, the box?
Yeah, the box comes default in your inventory. The controls are a little bit different from past Metal Gear Solid games. You've got these little menus here, like this is my weapons menu, and it's different because with the items you just sort of trigger your item on and off just by tapping L2.
Yeah, instantaneous.
Yeah, but if you just hit R2 for the weapons, you're going to cycle through them. So it's a little bit different. But yeah, it feels just like a Metal Gear Solid game.
I noticed at the beginning, before this round began, you had to set your weapons and everything. Do you select cardboard box, or do you?
No, you don't have to select cardboard box, but one of the weapons that I did select is this one right here, which is the magazine.
Okay.
I'll place that on the ground right there. So that'll, a lovely little
pretty ladies.
A gentleman's magazine.
Every soldier on the battlefield is distracted by pretty lady magazines.
That is very true.
So many men have died because of that.
Sometimes when I drop my own magazine, I just can't help but check it out for a little while.
That's right.
I usually wind up dead, though, which is a familiar theme if anybody's watched me play this game today.
So there's a lot of, like, obviously run and gun in this game, but it's a little bit slower paced, and there's some tactics, right?
There's definitely some tactics. I mean, it is a Metal Gear Solid game, so it's a little bit slower. There's no sprint button. I kind of wish there was, just because I'm a dyed-in-the-wool Call of Duty fan, and I just love running around. So it's a little bit more slow-paced. I think your enjoyment of this game is kind of going to depend on what sort of Metal Gear Solid player you are. If you're one of those aggressive types who's just like, screw the alarm system, I'm going to shoot that guy, you're going to have a lot of fun with it. But if you're a little bit more tactical and you love sneaking around, I'm about to get to my favorite part of this beta, which is what I like to call the man cannon.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, mackerel.
And I land
Good
unscathed.
landing. You stuck it.
I did, totally. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting little touches in this game. All the little Metal Gear Solid Easter eggs and those sorts of things you'll see here.
Now you mentioned the different game modes. I noticed that one of them was Sneaking Mission. What is that?
Sneaking Mission, that is the one where you play as Solid Snake.
Okay.
So Snake has this sort of chameleon camouflage where he'll blend into his surroundings. Here's the loadout screen.
Okay.
I'm playing on Ryan's account, and he's spent a bit of time with it, so he's unlocked a lot of nice weapons here, including this odd little riot shield, which...
That's kind of like in Rainbow Six. They've got a riot shield.
Yeah, I've yet to master that one.
Okay.
So yeah, I've selected different grenades because I'm tired of my little gentleman's magazine. I've worn that one out.
Of course, this is still a work in progress game, and it's still a long ways off from being finished. So this is not necessarily representative of what we'll actually see in the final game, correct?
Exactly, yeah. This is definitely a work in progress. I don't believe the release date has even been announced quite yet, so.
But even though this is a work in progress and not representative of the final product, this looks pretty good.
It looks pretty nice. I mean, this is PlayStation 3 hardware at work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to take this guy out, see how well this goes over.
So one of the things I saw you doing earlier was that you disguised yourself as a barrel. Some guy ran right past you, didn't even see you.
I did,
That's pretty cool.
That's one of the cool things. If I was playing better right now, I would have unlocked the barrel, but I'm doing a little poorly. Yeah, that's one of those cool things you can unlock. You play as a barrel, you hide inside, you can roll around, knock people over. The funny thing is that he gets a little dizzy and he pukes a little bit, which, you know, it's understandable. Oh.
Wow, that's the end of this round. While we're waiting for a new one to load up, Ryan, I'm sure we've got a lot of questions about this game.
Dude, I'm so buried in questions over here. It's not even funny. I'll just start right here. Dennis Poulin out of Athens, Netherlands. How many maps are they, and how big are they?
The maps are pretty huge. I've encountered 3 different maps so far, and they all have this sort of Middle Eastern industrial setting. And yeah, they're definitely pretty big. You've actually played quite a bit, Ryan, right?
I have.
How many maps have you seen?
Dude, I saw like I'll be honest, I saw a ton.
You saw a ton of maps?
I saw a ton. Like, I couldn't tell you exactly how many, but it was more than like 7, I think, and like less than 20.
And because, you know, this is not a final product, they'll probably be adding more over time, right?
Definitely add some more maps to it.
So, is there any sort of ranking system like they have in Call of Duty or anything like that?
Yeah, there is. They've got a ranking system where you unlock all sorts of new weapons and things like that. I haven't played quite as much as Ryan has, but you definitely unlock a lot of cool things.
I can definitely say that it keeps track of like an amazing amount of stuff, and yeah, the online profile that it creates basically for your guy and everything that goes with it and all the different things you can do in the customization. I mean, it's definitely, it's up there. It's crazy.
So, Mac, this is your created guy. Is this standard equipment here, or is this stuff you've unlocked?
This is some tricked out stuff that I got for them. I mean, they give you a lot of stuff, and again, I'm not sure if it's going to be like this in the final build or not. Right. But, you know, right off the bat, they give you access to a lot of good things, and then, you know, from the get-go, I mean, honestly, yeah, it was like, I would just see stuff trickle in there, and depending on what game mode it was, I'd have more or less. But the big thing is now, did you show them the difference between the third-person shooting and the first-person shooting, and like the auto-aim and the not auto-aim?
Oh, yeah, exactly. I meant to get to that. Ooh. Right after I respawn.
You saw it a little bit there, like so. Just like in Grand Theft Auto, you have the difference between auto aim and not auto aim, right?
Exactly. Auto aim, you can set that on, and what it does is it automatically locks onto your target. But unlike Grand Theft Auto, while you're auto aimed, you can't adjust for the headshot. So that's kind of the drawback to that. And right here, I've got the over-the-shoulder view, and I can also go in for the first-person view. Okay. Yeah, so these guns definitely have some recoil, so you can see right there.
One thing I can say from playing quite a bit is that with the, whether it's the first person or whether it's the third person not locked on, oh yeah, once you start to get a feel for the controls and you kind of come around the corner and can throw down that laser shot basically right on that guy's head, I don't know why you'd ever want to have auto aim on, because like, I come around the corner and those guys got auto aim on and they start, you know, blah, 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 and it's just like, oh, and they're gone.
Yeah, I was going with the auto aim at first, but I definitely went for the manual one. It's a lot easier to get those headshots.
So one question I get a lot over here, Brian, if you don't mind throwing it at
Sure.
you guys. Rob Kerr at North Canton and a lot of other folks, they're confused as to how this works with the MGS4. Is this a separate game, or is this the online mode of MGS4? Some people not sure exactly how that works. Do you by any chance know, Sean?
This is a separate game, actually, yeah.
Is there any sort of storyline that ties it into Metal Gear 4?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
In fact, I'm not sure if they've even released details about the offline, or even if it will have any sort of offline mode to it.
Seems like there's a lot to do with all the maps, though.
Yeah.
Ryan, maybe a couple more questions from the audience?
I got Jared Harrell from Calgary asking to see some CQC, some close quarters combat. Is there anything that you can do for us?
I can try. I can definitely try. I'm not going to make any promises. That's definitely one of the toughest parts.
Yeah, totally.
Let's see here. So yeah, in order to do that, I can't have my assault rifle here. I'll go in for the knife, my little stun knife. It helps. This is actually when the box comes in handy. You can just pretend to be the box, let somebody sneak by, or somebody walk by, and then you sneak up behind them and plant a knife in their back or something like that.
But here's what I noticed when you were playing it earlier. When you're playing as a box, why isn't everyone just shooting every box they see?
There are dummy boxes lying around,
okay,
which adds a little bit of strategic depth to it. So I can go and sort of look around, and I'll generally encounter. I'm in
carve them
CQC.
up, teach them a lesson. Oh.
See?
Too bad.
Not too good at the CQC.
That's tough.
Yeah, it is.
Ryan, do you have one more?
I do. Sean Thomas out of Michigan said that he's tried a lot of previous Metal Gear games before. Is the controls any easier? Are they different? I mean, they pretty much seem to be the same, right?
You're basically doing the same things as you've done in old Metal Gear Solid games. It's just it's mapped to the controller a little bit differently. For example, if I want to go prone, I don't have to tap X twice. I just hold it down like that. And you can actually sneak around while crouching, like I'm trying to do right here. And you've got this interesting cover system as well. So it feels very similar to Metal Gear Solid games.
All right, cool. So do you know when this game's coming out?
I don't believe there's a firm release date quite yet.
Later in the year, maybe?
Later in the year, TBA.
To be determined.
Yeah.
Sean, thank you so much for demoing it. We appreciate it.
My pleasure, anytime.
And Ryan, I think you've got something special for us, a cheat of some sort?
I totally do. Yeah, it's like you know, every so often we have an exploit that we show you, and this week, well, I won't spoil it. It's actually for one of your games that you like a whole lot, Brian Eckberg.
Cool.
This is for Forza 2. It's going to show you how you can get super amounts of cash and how you can cheat to do it. So let's go ahead and take a look at that.
Now it's time for the Gillette Game Room Exploit of the Moment.
Are you tired of slogging your way through Forza 2 online achievements? Well, don't worry. We've got an exploit for you. All you need to do is grab 7 of your friends and jump into the same online lobby. And once you start a 75-lap career race around Nissan Speedway, get them to leave. Then finish out those 75 laps on your own, and you have just driven your way home to 255,000 credits. Of course, if you can avoid the walls, you'll get even more. The secret is to get a level 10 rarity car. Pull it out of the garage, put it on the track, and then drive your way home to victory.
So there was a look at some tips to get you some cash in Forza 2. Before we throw it to our next segment, I did want to take a look at some of the questions I saw coming in. People were like, why didn't you show more of Metal Gear Online? The reality is that thing's super early. It's still beta. We were actually super happy that the folks at Konami let us show any of it. But the reality is, like, getting out of servers right now isn't the easiest of tasks. So we would definitely bounce around and show you more. But we will wait. We will wait until that is something that happens a little easier. But yeah, until then, stick around. We'll have more on MG Metal Gear Online. We definitely know you folks are looking and eager for more of that information. So we'll be bringing it to you as we get it. Now, it's kind of crazy. I've actually had that thing at my house for like a week or whatever, maybe a little more. Been playing that. Been really hard though, because you got Grand Theft Auto 4. So why is it that two great tastes always come out at the same time? It always seems that way. It always seems that you get one awesome third-person action adventure game, and then there's another one. So yeah. So I think it's pretty much set, and either way, lots of cool third-person action, multiplayer, fun gaming. So that is the amount of stretching I had to do for Brian Eckberg to be ready. So Brian Eckberg, now that you're ready, please take it away, sir.
Yeah, we had to just stretch a little bit because we had to get our new guests up here. We've got Arthur and Kaori. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And we're going to be showing you guys are going to be showing off Bangio Spirits DS. Tell me about this game, Arthur.
So Bangio Spirits, if you've ever heard of it, it's probably because you're familiar with either the N64 or the Dreamcast version, which was released by, which is developed by Treasure, released back in the days. Bangio Spirits, if you're not familiar with it, it's kind of based off the Bangio series, which is kind of a Twitch Fest action missile extravaganza.
All right, let's dive right into it while you're talking about it. Just shoot them up, right? Just blast away.
Yeah, so the best way to describe it is there's tons of missiles on the screen, and you got to find a way to avoid them and survive.
Okay.
There's various levels you'll be going through. There's over 150 levels, actually, to be exact.
Wow.
Or not exact, because that's more than 150, but...
a lot.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
One of the things that's signature about it is basically the EX attack, which you're seeing Kari here shoot off. But yeah, basically, you know, you have various weapons that you can take into the actual levels. They're divided between normal and EX attacks, and basically, depending on the attributes, you know, they'll help you out get through different sections. Some of the levels are a little bit shorter, some of them are a lot longer, and there's also some that are a little bit quirky and signature of Treasure's style.
Okay. We died already. Not an easy game then.
Yeah, you gotta do tactics. So sometimes you can just shoot things, and you can change up your weapons. There's like 10 different weapons.
Tactics definitely count in this game. So can you tell me about the weapons in the game? Actually, let's talk about the controls. This is not a touchscreen game. You're doing it with the D-pad and the buttons, right?
That's correct. So you are using the D-pad to control. You move with the D-pad, and then you fire with either the Y or B buttons, depending on. And the weapon you'll be firing is dependent on the weapon that you selected. So if you see there, you know, she has napalm missiles selected to Y, and such like that. So. You know, there's melee weapons as well, which is something that's new for the DS, which isn't a port, by the way. I forgot to mention that. It's not a port of the Dreamcast version. It is Treasure's reimagination of Bangio for the DS.
Okay.
So there's a lot of new stuff, like the new weapons, new levels. There is that familiarity of the, you know, hardcore action awesomeness from Treasure. But
hardcore action awesomeness.
Yes.
I like that.
But yeah.
Another feature of this game we have to talk about, of course, is the level creator, right?
Yes, so there's a level editor. It's very extensive. Do you want to actually take us over there a little bit fast? But basically, with the level editor, that's where you'll be using the touchscreen. You know, you can build levels straight from scratch, you know, just like any other editor. All the options are available for you. Anything you see in the game, you can put into your levels. You can also basically copy out levels, which is something I'll kind of show you right here.
Is it the kind of thing that you have to unlock things, items, to put them in your level, or is everything available right away?
Everything is available from the get-go, even the 150 plus stages. You can access them right away. Same thing with the editor. The coolest thing I can show you right here is, let's see, sorry, got to get to the edit mode, is basically if you find a section of a level that you like, you can basically just use the touch screen, select it, copy it, create a new level, and paste it right in. So if there's certain sections that you like of Treasure's levels, you can just copy it and paste it in. You can also take some of Treasure's levels that maybe are a little bit too hard and delete all the bosses, you know, save it that and play it that way. Unfortunately, your high scores won't be saved, but...
And you can you draw on the screen for items and
yes, so
enemies?
Definitely, you know, if you want to draw out certain patterns, you know, write little messages. Some of the levels from Treasure, you'll notice, like, it has, like, when the bricks explode and everything, you know, it'll show Bangio or Treasure or, you know, some cool messages and stuff like that. So
very cool. So I think one of the absolute coolest parts about this is that after you've created your level, you can share your levels, but you do it in a sort of unique way, right?
That's correct. So we have this feature called Sound Load.
Okay.
So it's the first time it's available on the DS. It took a lot of explaining to do to Nintendo, so I think the best way to do it is just kind of show you how it works.
Yeah, we should show this on camera just because this needs to be shown on camera.
So we'll actually be doing it, it's a lot easier without the cables here, so we'll go, I will be sending over a stage.
So you have one created.
So I have one created already.
Okay.
This is just kind of a map of the targets of the stage, but basically you'll see me transfer this over to the DS over here.
Okay.
The way it's done is basically the level data is converted into a sound file, and that's output through the speaker.
Okay.
And with that basically that sound is then picked up by the receiving DS through the mic, and it's interpreted and then transferred. So it's kind of
that makes
the best. Yeah, it makes no sense.
That seems like magic to me.
It makes no sense, but let's kind of give it a shot right here, and we'll show you how it goes.
Download, receive stage.
Okay.
So she'll be on the receiving end, and I will go with, I have it set up to
Can
send.
you hold it next to the mic so we can hear it when you transfer?
Sure.
So
Okay.
make sure you go to empty slot.
Okay.
And then you're ready to go.
All right, so I'm going to position this mic
Over the microphone.
Over here. Oops, let me make sure the volume's high enough.
You guys hear that?
Yeah, you
it's
just
like
want,
it's like
you just
a
want to make sure that you don't like
small-
bump. I'm like shaky because I had too much coffee.
Sorry.
There you go. Oops. And there you go. So yes.
I don't know if the folks at home could hear it, but it was just a little beep, and it's like a modem sound almost, and an entire level transferred from one DS to the next. Easy. So it's just a sound file, so you can do it in a number of different ways, right?
That's correct. So
Yeah.
basically, you know, one of the things you can do is take the levels, you know, and then maybe if you have like an audio cable, just hook it up to your PC, and then
Yep.
you know use like any kind of sound recorder, whatever you have on your PC, and then record it as a WAV file or MP3, and that's actually what we have.
So we've got a laptop here with a level in WAV format.
That's correct.
And you could put it in that. What if I just yell in the microphone? Will that create a really strange level?
Perhaps. No.
All right, let's try it. So we're going from the earphone into the DS.
Insert your mic right here.
Okay.
Set that up.
All right, so let me get this sound file ready here. So yeah, it's just a regular WAV file. Nothing special. I mean, if you wanted to put it into an MP3, you could do that as well.
Yeah.
Are you prepped?
I'm ready. Wait, let me open it.
Just get a slot ready.
Get it.
Ready.
There's a gentleman by the name of Music Guru, and they have figured out in the chat room. They're like, whatever, let's go watch this video.
And there you go. So right there, she's got the
Wow,
level.
it's the I love you level, it says. That's incredible. We got that off the PC. So the basic takeaway here is that people could create tons of levels, put them on websites, and people just download them as sound files.
Yeah, you can basically catalog and share them. I mean, you know, since you can get on a PC, that means you can send it anywhere. It's just a WAV. It's just like a sound file. So MP3, you know, you want to put it on a USB drive, take it to your friend's house, send it via email. You know, just go, hey, I made this level, you know, and then they can download it at their leisure. You know.
Amazing technology. Ryan, do you have some questions about Bangio Spirits?
I got all kinds of crazy questions. The first one I'll actually say is more of a statement. This is from Jimmy Davis at Noosa. He says, wow. So,
that's what I say.
And they just want to make sure that, like, you know, Nick out of St. Louis, Missouri wants to know, with the touchscreen action, is it just drawing the stuff, or exactly how does that work? He just wants to make sure exactly what he can do with the touchscreen.
Yeah, so the main purpose of the touchscreen was for the edit mode. That's kind of one of the great things about having it on the DS was, you know, being able to copy and paste the sections and draw out patterns and stuff like that. In terms of the gameplay, yeah, we're keeping it, you know, Bangio, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is there a number of levels you can have saved on your DS? Is there a maximum?
So right now we have 24 slots.
Okay.
The game's still not finished yet, so we don't know exactly what the exact number would be at the time of release. But,
the nice thing is even if you get rid of it, you can always re-download it.
I mean, that's the thing, you know, since you can catalog on your PC, you could basically have 200, you know, 300, 400 levels, you know, on your PC, and then just transfer them over using SoundLoad whenever.
Right on. Maybe one more question, Ryan.
Yeah, actually, everybody's just tripped out about this whole, like, sound transfer thing. So, like, there's a number of people, like Kevin Merida at Adoral, he wants to know, like, is there anything he can do weird with music? Like, if he plays music, or he can load music, or anything to do with music, or... a lot of people asking, otherwise I wouldn't even mention it, by the way, but...
Yeah, I've heard that question before. It's like, if I play my favorite track, will I get an awesome level?
Yeah, it's like Monster Rancher, the old Monster Rancher game.
I would have to say no.
Yeah.
Here's one last real one for you. Jake Chabot out of Auburn wants to know, is there going to be any database for the levels online?
Actually, the Japanese office already has kind of a level, it's not really a database, but they have a website set up and they have a contest. So, you know, that's one of the things, because you can catalog it online, you know, they can have a level building contest even among your friends, or, you know, if you know other people. We don't have a database set up right now. We do have a website planned for something, but we have nothing set at this time. But yeah, it's, you know, really, if you wanted to set up a database, you could do it yourself too. I mean, there's really no reason why you have to, you know, to rely on us.
Yeah, it's a fascinating technology. Thanks for bringing it by. It's really cool. When's the game coming out?
Q3.
All right, so later this year, we'll all be yelling into our DSs trying to create and just sharing levels everywhere. So thanks, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. And Ryan, I think we've got some trivia now, right?
Oh, we totally got trivia. I got 100 discs to give away. Have you ever... this is a game that's totally up your alley, Brian Eckberg. Deca Sports, you know anything about that?
Yeah, of course. Deca Sports. I've played that game many a time.
That is for the Wii, correct, sir?
That is a Wii game.
And as the name alludes to, does that mean there's 10 different like sporting mini games in there?
Yeah, you've got everything from like curling to figure skating and archery and all that good stuff.
Well, right on. Well, without further ado, for the first 100 people that respond to this question with the correct answer, they will receive a free demo of Deca Sports for the Wii, delivered to their doorstep. So if you think you know the answer to this trivia question that's about to come up, go ahead and use the module on the page to submit your question, and we'll send you out a disc. So let's go ahead and throw up the question. In Deca Sports, what are the 3 kinds of snowboards? Cross country, extreme, downhill, or freestyle, border cross, alpine, or downhill half-pipe alpine, or freestyle downhill mogul dominator 3000 WXP9. So that's there's the question. If you know what are the 3 correct types of snowboards in Deca Sports, go ahead and use the module. And heck, you know, Brian, 100 discs. I got a lot of discs. I should just open it up to a lot of people. So
somebody should get it right. I would imagine.
Totally. I mean, yeah. So that's for our subscribers. If you do really desperately want a copy of the Deca Sports demo disc, by all means, send us an email on the spot at gamespot.com. If you can answer that question correctly there and supply us with your full name and address and all the other information to send you this disc, then we'll likely send you one. But yeah, so that's enough for the trivia. What else we got today, Brian?
We've got a look at the Wii channel, GameSpot's Wii channel.
We got a whole crazy little new thing, like new site improvement. If you got a Wii and you totally want to check out GameSpot, we have optimized it for you. And to show us a little more about that, here's this little video we have put together with our developers. Take a look.
GameSpot on the Wii is designed to be used with the Wii. The Wii browser has a very small resolution, so the regular GameSpot site is kind of hard to use. There's lots of zooming and clicking can be tricky. So with the GameSpot on the Wii site, we designed it. It's huge, it fills your whole screen, it's very colorful, and it's also designed to interact with the Wiimote itself. To get to GameSpot on the Wii, all you have to do is open up your Wii browser and go to www.gamespot.com. And we will detect that you're on a Wii and show you the fun Wii site. When you first come to the GameSpot site, you'll be greeted by the Ricardo Me, who will explain to you what's going on. If you want to continue onto the regular GameSpot site, you can do so from there, or this is where you can log into your GameSpot account. So when you're looking at the list of games, you can use the left and right D-pad to scroll through the games. You don't have to click on the little arrows, so the interaction is easier. It's right on your thumb. You can click to rate games, which is probably the most fun thing there is to do on the site. And that is when you click to rate, then the rater will drop down and you're twisting back and forth. Choose and rate the game however you see fit. When you hit a rating, press the button and it's saved. When you're shopping for a virtual console game in the Wii store, it's kind of vague as to what's a good game, what's not a good game, especially when they're all very old. If you go to the GameSpot on a Wii site, our reviews are very obvious, very easy to get to. Who knew that Bubble Bobble was such a good game? I didn't, but it's a lot of fun and I never would have downloaded it otherwise.
Now there's a look at GameSpot on the Wii. How awesome is that, Brian?
He did that in his free time.
Yeah, that was like, dude was just
that
like,
was just like a hobby for him.
Yeah, he's like, it's like 7 o'clock. I got some time.
Yeah.
I'll totally make the site for the Wii.
What I do in my spare time is like I drink Coke.
Oh, really? I used to do all kinds of stuff. Grand Theft Auto 4 came out.
Yeah.
I don't do nothing.
Yeah, I'm not productive like that. That's for sure.
No. The folks in the chat room, they all want the Ricardo Me. They're like, is there a way we can get a hold of that thing?
Yeah, well, maybe.
I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
That dude and other people in development, that's not all they've been doing in their spare time.
Oh, heck no.
They also did you hear about this?
But you tell me about it.
I'm not going to tell you about it. I'm going to let this guy tell you about it.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the next awesome improvement to the GameSpot. Checking it out.
On GameSpot Mobile, what we did was come up with the core content for users, which is top news, top games, and if you're logged in, your updates. One feature that we installed on mobile is what we call VCR control. What we did was, if you want to click on a story and the story pops up, you're finished reading, you don't have to navigate back to the main page. You can just click next or previous and next to quickly access all the stories that you want. The way that you would access GameSpot Mobile is just go through GameSpot.com, and our browsers would detect your mobile browser. So you're at a store, and you can pop up your GameSpot mobile and search for a game quickly, and boom, there you go. The game's right there, all the information that you need, the reviews, the news, updates, everything that you need on GameSpot mobile.
Looking at the chat room when we were rolling that thing, that like everybody's like, yeah, whatever. He's looking at an iPhone. Of course it works on there. But they've made that so it's optimized for mobile devices. So if you have something other than iPhone, it'll work better. Yeah, that's why it's Windows mobile phones.
T-Mobile Razr.
Totally. Trios, whatever. So there's some.
Those guys are super smart.
Those dudes are hella smart.
Yeah.
I don't know how they make the action go.
That's their thing, man.
They do good. So we have a whole bunch of stuff at the end of the show, and like we like to do, aside from giving stuff away, we usually like to tell folks what's coming up.
A lot of stuff coming up.
Tons of stuff coming up. We even got graphics to help us.
Oh, sweet. We don't have to talk.
Totally not.
They can read.
Throw the graphic, please.
See you, everyone.
So yeah, there you go. Guitar Hero 3. Have you heard about this crazy thing we're doing tomorrow?
I can't wait.
Dude, are you like one of the celebrity judges?
No, I think I'm the host.
Oh, that's right. You're totally the host.
I'm like the Ryan Seacrest.
That's right. Guitar Hero 3. You guys got to tune in and believe it to see it. Live, there will be like 4 people, right?
Yep.
They'll be competing not only in terms of like the actual strumming on the guitar, see how good they are, but also their performances. So big hair, smoke machine.
Yeah, we want like the full rock performance.
And then there'll be celebrity judges.
I can't wait for that.
That'll be good. And then, of course, we have the new episode of The Lineup hitting Friday. That's tomorrow as well, dude.
That's right after Guitar
How does that
Hero
even
3.
happen? That's too much awesomeness all in one time frame.
That's the sports show.
You guys got some stuff in there? Tease? No?
No, I kind of want to tease a little bit because we have I don't know. We have a Major League Eating contest.
Oh, dude.
I'll give it away right away.
Donut holes?
Donut holes.
Sweet.
Or actually, just little donuts.
The one thing you got to do for folks at home that didn't see the first episode of the lineup and are looking forward to the second episode, got to make it easy for them to find the first episode.
Okay.
Talk to Homer. See
I
about
will.
like putting that somewhere, because I did a search on the site, I can't find it.
That's okay.
It's hard to find.
Just watch the second one.
All right.
We'll be happy with that.
Behind the Games, of course, Monday, May 12th at 8 p.m. Do you know who they're sneaking in there?
I don't, but I'm totally curious.
Oh,
These
yeah.
are always good.
Super tempted. Yeah, they always sneak some good stuff. And there's actually a second page, I understand it, to this calendar. There's so much stuff going on.
Oh my God!
I got 2 pages. Mario Kart Wii Game Night. That's Tuesday, May 13th at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
So join us and play some Mario Kart
Absolutely.
action. The Hot Spotter Court Tuesday. Tor Thorson, he's ripping that thing up now. He's doing
That's
crazy
right.
business.
Yep. He'll be
On the
talking very
spot.
quickly and loudly.
Oh, that dude does that really good, actually. Yeah. On the Spotter course next week, back here. So that's about it.
And I should mention that From the Bleachers, our sports podcast, will be on Wednesdays.
Oh, really?
Not even on that calendar.
You gotta slip it in there. Then we could have went 3 pages.
I know. Next week we're gonna have 5-page.
That's how folks at home can just keep us in check. Make sure we're doing our jobs. If there's anything less than 2 pages,
yeah, we're not working hard enough.
but that's pretty much it for us here at On the Spot today. Of course, I want to say one thing before we go, and that is hi to 2 new Game Spotters that are coming in. Also, one that's going out. Vinny Caravello, longtime producer, working on the Spot. He's headed out and seeing what the rest of the world has to offer. But we got Tracy Peterson in, and we'll have somebody else starting next week. So all kinds. You guys got new people over in edit too.
We got all sorts of new people.
So
we're stocking up for the summer.
Yeah, totally. It's gonna be a busy season. Next week's gonna be super busy.
Yeah,
Keep your eyes glued. Yeah,
lots of stuff
GameSpot.com,
happening next week.
all kinds of events, all kinds of new stuff coming out. So be checking the site.
Yeah.
So again, for the crew and everybody else here at GameSpot, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Actually, we'll see you tomorrow at 4.
Yep.
Bye.
Thank you.